Okay, live Blue Oolong, episode 11, I think. And we're back about to learn some more about this elaborate-ish heist being planned against a long-term enemy of Silver's that we saw in like a flashback a little bit, and now know is like a bad person who deserves what's coming. We have decided unilaterally. Cool. And so, Fault, you wanted to discern exactly
Yeah,
when something would happen?
yeah, trying to figure out, see if I can find out the timing at least, but if I can figure out anything of the nature of the next act of God, however that works.
Sure. Or is it like,
sorry.
oh, what?
I was just going to say we have that relationship with the stray light that we got specifically for this purpose of like predicting and getting information about acts of God. So this could be a good time to go to them, I guess.
Yeah. And it sounded kind of like you wanted to launch the job when appropriate thing was happening, right?
Yeah,
so,
something on the like wind and lightning order of storm.
Right, yeah. And then, yeah, because you already know that, what's his face? Who's the guy that you're targeting again? Fatma is like, regularly does the like the same distressing thing as you, right? De-stressing, not distressing. Or kind of both if you've seen the dream, the game that thing is based on. It's a little distressing. Definitely seems like you'd be suffocating or something. But okay, so let's see. Let's make sure that we're aiming the score at what it is that you wanted to do. Let's see. So, expose the vulnerability. I think you're doing that already. I'm just looking at the engagement roles questions to see if you could be specifically working towards getting an extra die in any of these mission type questions. Well, it could just be in any other elements we wish to consider, which might give you a little bit of an advantage. That would be fair, I think. Cool. Okay, so let's see. Is that how you go about it? Is you like hit up the stray light to see about when some specific storms are hitting, and then you like engineer the timing of your score to coincide with that happening in the city, basically?
Yeah, maybe either Silver or VD could introduce me to them.
Yeah. Your contact is Glimmer, right? I believe that's the only person you met.
I think VD has the strongest connection there.
Yeah. Cool. So...
but yeah, if you've got connections to people that have actually worked up reliable methods for predicting acts of God, like I am all over that. That would have saved so many horrible situations.
And a tapestry is only strong as the threads that weave it together, so I would be more than happy to make friends of my friends your friends as well.
So do you set up a meeting or something, or what?
Yeah.
What does it look like? Because the last time we've only seen them once on screen, and we know that they come from like they're essentially the mediator and the face of the stray light, right? And last time we saw them, you were like, you had found their building that they lived in a different district, which was like the White District or something, right? It was like a corporate town, and you had like traced her patterns by following her, and she had like been making all these different routes to different places in the green zone, and you like intercepted her at once, and I thought it would have gone very poorly, but people were critting and things went well. So
that's how we roll.
Yeah, definitely. I was like, oh, okay, you're just gonna do this. That's forward. Okay.
Oh, we have to go into a corporate sector. I have to tell you, I'm not very good at looking fancy or blending in.
Yeah. Well, everyone has probably like no lifestyle yet, right? Everyone's probably below one or at one or something like that. So
But,
I assume you'd want to like engineer some sort of meeting or something.
yeah, although I think I need to take a move, but I was going to take the move that's like you can change your nanites so you can move between districts.
Oh, okay.
Neat.
Well, that's good for you, but
Yeah, no, I'll engineer. I like meeting at the garden. The garden's nice. It's very well kept.
right. And did you guys spend your crew upgrade, by the way? I added the clocks and it just says crew upgrade next session.
No, we've still got another crew upgrade that we haven't decided on yet from
Oh.
session.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe you want to spend something.
Are there any abilities there that we want, or 2 boxes that we want to tick? I guess anything that would be specifically useful here, because do we need stuff that's like higher tier to be able to make this meeting happen, or it sounds like we can just do it in the garden.
Yeah, I think you have a relationship with Hirsch.
It should be easy enough then. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you already have her as a contact after doing that clock stuff, so I won't be like, nope, she ain't coming. You guys are too ugly. Can't be seen with you. Sorry. Something like street smart might be good for you guys. Each PC has been toughened by a cruel experience. You get +1D to resistance rolls.
Where's that one?
In the Clippers.
Oh, okay. So that's if we took the veteran special ability. Yeah, that could be cool.
Well, we've got what's it called? Synchronized. That would go well with what's it called? It's the subvocal something. Where is that one?
Subvocal tech. Yeah, that's always a good one. That's shifters, I think. Oh, weird.
Yeah.
All these dots are misaligned too. They're pissing me off. Bugs me. Yeah, subvocal tech. You may use teamwork with any member of the convoy, regardless of the distance. Should just rename it to crew, I guess. Regardless of the distance separating you by taking 1 stress. So you can do teamwork across distances, essentially, but it costs stress.
Yeah, that one or Street Smart. I'm interested in both of those. I think they're both very cool. Totally cool with either of them. If anybody has strong feelings.
But a Street Smart again.
That's you get +1D to resistance rolls.
Ooh. I think
Those both sound nice.
Yeah. It's almost like there are positive benefits, and they would help us out either way.
I don't think I know the game well enough to choose which one would be better.
I mean, I guess in the past we've done a number of things where we've had to split up. Like someone goes into the vents and tries to gas everyone while someone else goes over there and does another thing.
That's pretty true.
I don't know if like we're gonna keep working that way, but yeah. And I feel like Raze is thinking, please take that one so you guys control morale more.
No, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. You still got communications either way, right? Like as items on a score, you have communications. But if you're gonna about to be hitting a storm. Maybe what's a vocal tech? I don't know.
Good point. What about you, Brian? What do you think? Which tickles your fancy?
Yeah, I don't have a strong preference. I just kind of recommended that one because you guys took synchronized, and it's just like it's really good. But then you get to make use of it even more if you also can coordinate in that way. So.
And fictionally, it makes sense if we get the star because we've got Quiz, who came from the Shifter crew, and we have some vocal tech in the Shifter crew.
Right. I've already got my mic installed in my voice box, so
yeah.
But I have no one. I have no one to talk to now.
I totally dig all that fiction. At this point, I would probably vote for that one. Yeah.
Cool. I'm good with it.
And that's from the Shifters subvocal tech. Cool. Yeah. So everybody good with that?
Yeah.
All right. I'll add that to the to our playbook here.
Cool. Are you setting up a meeting with Glimmer then?
Sure.
Almost certainly their real name. Just call me
just
Glimmer.
like mine, Speedy.
That sounds like a birth name, totally.
Yeah. She comes out and she was real sparkly, and they're like, Glimmer. That's the stuff. That's the hot stuff right there. Nobody has a name like that. Okay, cool. So where do you set up the meet? What's the plan?
I feel like at some point the garden isn't going to be the best place to meet up because it's bad to like have habits when it comes to clandestine meetings. But for now, I just like tea in the garden.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Is it the garden like on top of the wall, or is it like the constant gardener's garden?
Let's go for on top of the wall this time.
Okay. So you are switching it up. There's so many gardens, they'll be like, man, there's so many gardens we can't even find them. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly right.
You say meet at the garden and everybody shows up to different places. Where are you?
That's why we have the subvocal tech.
That's right. It doesn't matter.
Right. Cool. Okay, so yeah, we get like a shot of the whatchamacallit, all of the saffron, right, across the rooftops as you look out to the richer districts. And they're just I described them as kind of like if you go to Asia and see all the cherry blossoms falling and stuff, it's like that, except with blue petals, right, from the saffron flowers. And it's sort of like a perpetual thing. They are designed to bloom faster and continue to fall and continue to be planted and have like these weird gene hacked cycle stuff going on, right? So it's not just like a particular season when this happens. It's a perpetual thing. And I think I mentioned before too, but there was like all the conspiracy theory people, right, who are like, saffron makes you like more docile and stuff. It's like the chemtrail
Government
theory.
mind control.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're just trying to calm us down, breathing in all these saffrons. Sweet. Okay, cool. And let's see. I think. You okay there, Lauren? Did you hit your funny bone?
I'm fine.
Did you have to plug in your mic? That's funny. Cool. So yeah, that's all happening in the background, and there's people like working on the earth and like doing all that kind of stuff. Kids playing, and you guys shuffle off to like a particular corner or something like that as you're walking the grounds of this wall, right?
I think Fault like looks noticeably more relaxed. He's been around for a week or two now. You're starting to get to know him a little bit. And I think he's just very tense and sort of like hunched over, closed down a lot inside. And now that we're up on one of the open out air spaces and there's actual plants around and stuff, I think he's just a lot more relaxed and like brushing his hand across trees and stuff as we walk by. He looks a lot more himself.
So are you saying that the government-controlled saffron is working on you?
I'm feeling much more docile and compliant. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. I think Glimmer extends a hand and kind of like does the cred check thing, waiting for you to do the thing with your hand, right? To mark yourself as blue soulless. And once she's like,
I gotcha. I think it takes like I think VD has to do it first before I'm like, oh right, I have a thing that does. I do this too. I have a dark mark also.
A dark mark, yeah. And this is roughly what I picture for like how tall the gardens are and stuff. So it's like these giant walls sprouting up with like temporary gardens and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Awesome.
And yeah, except it would be like longer pathways and things like that happening instead of, it looks like, I don't know, just kind of short there. I pictured more foliage and stuff. And I think she's in like a pure white robe, which is like another staple of people with a lot of money, right? Like it won't get dirty anyway. Or maybe it's like a, whatchamacallit, MTV stars with white shoes. They're like, I just wear them once a day. It's fine. I just have 365 pairs of these. It's like a white flowing robe that looks like a little bit thicker, and like a half hood that goes up like that with like a red kind of vizier thing that goes up that kind of masks her face, but it's also supposed to be like in and stylish. And she says, "What can I do for you?"
I think Limit is the introduction of like, Biddy does the introduction, or like shaking Glimmer's hand first, and then smiles. I think she's like rolling. I think she's a cigarette in her mouth, obviously.
Obviously.
And there's like, Glimmer, I have a friend I would like you to meet. And then she just like does the wave over to Fault. Yeah, to Fault. This is Fault. And you addition to our crew.
Some guy.
Dear friend and member of the crew, whose name I will remember in a moment.
It's the drugs.
It's the drugs, yeah.
I'll shake her hand sort of gruffly. Hello.
Mm-hmm. And she wants to like perpetually be in motion, right? So the whole talk is like throughout walking through, and she'll suddenly like go silent if other people are walking towards you and all that kind of stuff. Even if she has the purple shield action going on for her face. I have a picture of it actually in the Pinterest that I'll find in a bit. Oh, there it is. This is future Styles.
Ooh.
Awesome.
And so yeah. So what storm is it that you want actually? So you want something not too bad, right? Or what?
Just your basic electro tornado?
Just a basic tornado. Just order me up like a little daredevil.
With lightning and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like, mechanically, in terms of tier, what are you guys looking for? Like, she's not saying this, I'm saying this, right?
What tier do we need?
Because you're tier 1, right?
We're etching on what I know about the system, so you might have to unpack that more.
people start out as tier 0 and now you're tier 1, so you've like moved up in the world. But for instance, the megacorps are like tier 5, right? And the basically the higher tier of a like act of God that you're gonna get, it's gonna be for different, like it depends what you want this act of God to be actually for and doing. Is it only
All right.
to perpetuate the data?
You gotta get some drugs from it.
BD also wants drugs. But yeah, what would be like the tier of Fatma, and then what would be the tier of the like countermeasures on the media systems and the data stream, that sort of stuff?
Right. Tier for Fatma. Did we ever codify that, Jesse?
I don't think we have.
We just said that we know that they're an exec at Nourish, right?
Yeah.
So he definitely wouldn't, as a single person, he definitely doesn't have the tier 5 of a megacorp, but he would probably be at least like a tier 3 or something like that.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then
wanna go with that? Tier 3?
Yeah. And then in terms of you're making use of the data that the Croci Stigma have provided, right? Like you're using sort of them as a platform to get this data out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so it's dispersing that way. But how will people consume it in your guys' mind with this score? Like you want basically the general public to be consuming this as well, right?
Yeah, Silver was talking about like stuff going across billboards and like blasting media, news streams, that sort of stuff.
I'm
So as
imagining this pollen probably like just works its way into and touching enough things that like it'll like, you know, if it gets blown around enough all throughout Shelter 1, it'll come in contact with data ports and stuff like that. And I imagine it just kind of worms its way in as like this flying dust pollen.
Yeah, maybe it's not like billboards and stuff, but people's like personal devices. It just like the pollen gets on there, and all of a sudden there.
We need to blow up future Facebook.
Dig that, yeah.
Right. Okay. So interesting. We could define scale in a lot of different ways. So basically, scale has the highest scale I see in magnitude is a city block, a colossal gang. Duration. What duration are you looking for? Just like a few hours or something like that?
Yeah, just the length of the storm.
And so I think what we're trying to hit is a large scale, then, it seems to me. Unless you want it, like, in a particular district only or something like that, and then just hope it spreads like wildfire from there or something.
That's a good point, because like if we get it out to enough people, I mean the trick is we just have to get it out to enough people where it gets passed along and doesn't get like shut down right away. That's the goal, right? So
Yeah.
Is there like
it doesn't have to be to the whole city. It just needs to be somewhere where we like get to enough an area where there's enough people with enough ability to spread information quickly that they can just kind of take over after that point.
Is there like a news district or a media district?
No, because information controls all of that stuff. So it's basically like, think like China, right? Where like all, well, not all, I guess, in China, but most of it is like approved by the government, and that's what you are able to consume. So in this, it's even more direct, where like all of this stuff is coming from information and being outputted to all these different things, aside from local groups and areas, primarily in where you are the green zone, where it's more like refugees, and there's like this underworld and stuff rising up from it, right? And like not proprietary tech from information. So definitely don't hit the corporate district, because if you hit there, they'll just be like, whatever, right? Let's just like lock it down, and that's where information's at. But if you're, the end goal of this is to kind of disgrace Fatma, right? and like destroy his career and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And wasn't also part of also like to tip off other people, so if they wanted to take Fatma out, they could get him at the drug place?
I figure that's probably a reasonable thing. And really I guess my biggest goal with having him there was that it couldn't be like he just automatically sees this thing is out, activates some like plan he's had for getting himself out of there, in like a moment's notice. Just basically the idea was to have there be enough time between information release and him realizing that the information was out, that it's not something he could just, scram and escape from.
Okay. Well, let's
kind of the goal.
Let's say that scale-wise, you're good because you're using like all the flowers everywhere that they planted, right? Like anywhere there's essentially sapphire or saffron, you've basically got the hookups there, right? So once it uses its unique little gene hacking ways of releasing this stuff, this information, potentially it could just be anywhere. So I think we're looking at just duration, which would be probably tier 3, a few hours. Does that make sense? Tier 2 is an hour, it says.
All right. So we probably need a 3 or 4 tier storm.
Yeah. And then it's good that you hit up them, because it's scale-wise on the opposite side of it. It says across the city is 6, so it'd be like boom. That'd be like a lot of mucho dineros there. So, yeah. Well, you have the benefit of these people's calculated infiltration of basically all of society, planning these things everywhere. So we'll just say that you have that.
Well, I like the sound of a tier 4. That sounds more exciting than a tier 3. Let's go out for a cheap 3.
Yeah. The duration range for tier 4 is a day and several blocks away, it says. So, yeah. I think that it's up to you, I guess. I would make it maybe the whatchamacallit, the die of fate, to see kind of like what happens of it. I'll roll as many as the tier that you hit. Does that make sense? So if you hit a tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, you have a much better chance of getting a higher number on fucking Fatma, basically.
So yeah, in answer to her question, basically, a big fucking storm.
Yeah.
A really big one. It's gonna last at least half a day. Wind and lightning all over the city. That sort of thing.
Right.
Shelter, not city. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Most of the time, people start referring to it as a city now because it's becoming like a mega city, and it's also somewhat encouraged by White District, which is like making it so that people are thinking that each section is segregated anyway. So when people refer to each district as separate cities, it's like feeding into their agenda anyway. So it is like you've been sucking in that saffron real good. You're all docile and perpetuating what they want. Sweet. So, silver. Does tier 3 sound what you want? Is 3 dice good for you?
I think 3 sounds good. I think
Yeah?
that's fine. Yeah.
Because I think you'll have a little bit of a trouble with tier 4-ish, unless you want to dump a bunch of money.
Ooh, silver might, like, okay. I'm just trying to think if silver, I mean, silver's got a stockpile at this point.
Yeah.
Just trying to think if she'd think it was worth it to, like, have it be that much. I don't think she needs it to be that big, though.
Yeah, like
she's still being
6 is
pragmatic about it. Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 3 is fine.
Okay. Sounds good.
If that sounds good to everybody.
Yeah, it's a few hours,
Sure.
and I'm sure people speak and talk about it after and stuff like that, right? Once information finally gets it on lockdown or whatever, The damage should probably have been done already anyway, and the like. So, okay, so we're going for a like torrential storm of some kind, probably. Let me get my act of God action here.
Yeah. I guess the most specific thing is like rain is going to work against us.
So hurricane.
As long as it's not wet.
Some kind of windstorm of some sort, like tornado, I don't know, dust storm.
Yeah.
Any of those.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Oh, nice. That's actually in line with it anyway. Cool. Okay, so that's a 3 as well. So that's good. It lines up very well. So let's see. What she like, we can assume in the fiction there's just been like a whole conversation back and forth going on, and she says, there is something like that coming, yes. What is it that you will do for us, though?
Look over at VD.
I'm trying to think if we, because we promised them.
Well, what tier are you, or what status are you with them?
I think we're 3, right? Like we're.
Oh, you're 3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then okay. But if we roll an engagement, I know they'll be like, come call like that. So tier 3 is they go out of their way to help you. So or not tier 3. Whatchamacallit, status 3.
Friend level 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Friend level.
Yeah. DEFCON 3 friend level. So I think she just like sort of, I'll just like retcon that, right? And she just like acquiesces and says yes and stuff. And like further down the path, we see Butterfly like waiting and sort of also like keeping a watch and kind of like acting as the bodyguardish thing. And they nod to you all.
If that's going easily, like over the course of it, I don't know if she'd be like responsive to it at all, but I would definitely be pushing for details or information about like, well, how do you do that? Like, what sort of systems are you using? Do you have like satellites, or do you have rigs, or what? I'm trying to get anything out of her that I can.
Okay, so are you swaying for more information?
Sure.
Talking sweet.
I can help with that, right?
Yeah. You guys could. Well, if both of you are doing it, it could be a group thing. If somebody's helping another, or what?
A group thing. I feel like Beanie would be spinning all of these like excited questions. It's like like we're asking because this is beneficial for you too. Kind of like trying to schmooze more and like.
Why is it beneficial for them?
I don't know.
That's good.
Just spinning it like that Fault is like a more useful person for them to consult with than maybe he can quite honestly claim to be. Like, oh yeah. This guy's an expert. You should work with him. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So we're talking about quiz. This is the person you need to. Fault. This is the person you need to know. Fault is the person that.
I will definitely brag about the storms that I've been in. I am more than young enough to do that effectively.
Well, I think you're into is like the Silk Falls stuff too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's keep damaging that relationship.
Well, I mean,
no, I'm into it.
Yeah, I don't think this conversation would damage it. I think you giving away all the data that you had on all the stuff there, that was damaging.
Past. You keep bringing up the past.
Yeah.
We're moving forward.
All right. So is this a group thing, or are you assisting the action, or what?
I can be a group thing.
Okay.
I'm good at swaying people.
Okay.
Oh, good. I'm not.
And it sounds like Fault is leading the charge in this, so to speak.
Sure.
Sounds good. So
I'll
we'll.
push to actually get a die.
Oh, that's
And
good. Yeah.
I take 1 stress, right? For adding a die, or am I rolling? Oh no, I roll with. Sorry, I feel like I should know this game by now.
Yeah, I'm leading, so
So-
I'm going to take stress for bad rolls.
Yeah, and then if you push yourselves, you can add a die, which it sounds like Fault has done.
Awesome.
Oh, what's our position? Or is this fortune roll, or?
Yeah, this is just going to be gathering information, so I'm not concerned about that. I don't think you're in danger. We'll see how much good information you get from her.
It's more specifically, I haven't rolled with the sheet before. Which one do I click? Fortune?
Oh, you click on see where it says sway. That's a button.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's asking me position. What position
Yeah,
should I
just,
tell it?
don't worry. Just click through it.
I'm gonna beat myself.
Just click through it, Patrick. So don't worry about the position and effect. Just hit continue.
Okay.
And then for the extra die, put 1 because you pushed yourself.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's not the best. That's a good thing it was a group action. So you stressed yourself out, but Vinny comes to the rescue again. So maybe you are just like super earnest about it, right? And like super interested, and then Vinny kind of does the like.
Oh yeah, I'm asking totally indelicate questions. Like I'm going straight into asking them about corporate secrets and proprietary technology and that sort of stuff.
Yay! Tell me about your corporate culture. Cool. So
and I take 1 for that because I got a 1 to 3.
Yeah, you take 1 stress because you failed. Cool. So what is the question that you want answered? And you'll get good detail, but not a follow-up.
Let's see. So many windows.
It could be any question too. The gather information ones are just, like.
I know. I'm just trying to see what's there. Yeah. Like, I'd like to know the shape of what they're doing. Is this some sort of like big technological antenna sort of array that they have? Is it someone's personal expertise? Have they hacked up a computer program that's predicting things for them? Like, what's the general approach they're taking?
Interesting. So the general approach is it's like a twofold operation. There's like a part of them that is sort of like really good meteorologists, basically, that are like good at seeing what's coming and predicting things and like have access to data. And then there's another one that are actually engineering it themselves. And she brings up like the Beijing games from like I don't know what the year is now, but a long time ago. Yeah, that kind of thing where you can like engineer the weather if you know what you're doing.
Oh wow! So they're actually like making things to some degree, or at least triggering potentials and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that's like a double thing, kind of like 2 arms feeding the same mouth.
Oh, I need to talk to this woman more in the future.
Sounds good. And then maybe a butterfly comes up and is like does the like tap, all right, like time's up, we gotta go, basically thing. And she's got like one of those fancy classic cars. It basically looks like a Rolls Royce-ish thing, except that where the wheels are, it has like the grates, and it kind of like lifts up and chugs off. Well, not chugs. It flows nicely. It doesn't like stutter stop in the sky or anything like that.
So funny.
Butler?
I was enjoying that imagery of like the super cool fancy guy that is doing
Yeah, sweet. Okay, so you've got the distribution set up, right, for the info, and then you've also got the um basically the date and time of which you should hit them, and ostensibly the storm will happen then, right?
I have a
Does
question
anyone...
for I have a question for Silva. Is there any merit? So I think from memory I had a split peas clock to try and become better friends with the split peas.
Boy, that sounds
I'm-
familiar.
I remember them coming up during downtime last time because I stopped everything to ask long questions about who they were.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I recall that. Yeah, so did you not add the clock to your sheet or something?
I guess I got eaten, but I think it was like an 8-segment clock, and I think I had like 1 or 2 ticks in it. So like I just started it.
Well,
I think.
like the only thing that I would have seen the writing here, like when I was moving the clocks over, I just like deleted the words on the sheet and then just moved them over to the crew sheet clock segment stuff. So I didn't see anything about the split peas on here, so I don't know.
It's very possible I was supposed to add it and didn't add it myself onto my own sheet.
Yeah, let's
But
see.
I can just add it again.
Yeah, just put it on your sheet.
Yeah, I think I put it on there now. Oops, I need to
Yeah.
name it.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see it on the like where I put all the other clocks. There was 3 of them and I added them, and there was nothing about the split peas. There's like the mirrored find out about you guys doing that stuff to them. There's your habit, and then there's supply, which I'll tick after each thing to show like when you're gonna run out, basically.
That's right.
Yeah. So cool. Does it anyone else? What?
Oh yeah, sorry. But I was gonna ask Silver, is there any benefit in like giving, say, like the split peas a tip off that this is happening and saying there's gonna be a really good cover for you going in and doing this because everyone's gonna know he's there, but you could prepare for it if you want to take him out, kind of thing.
Split. I'm
Because
trying
they
to.
don't like him, right?
I'm trying to remember who the split peas were. To be honest,
Oh god damn it! I had this orchestrated in my mind.
the split peas are the gene hackers that split from Nourish, right? And then they run the Green Mile, the like
Right.
underground
No,
black market.
That's an interesting idea. Yeah, we could potentially bolster our relationship with them by tipping them off that this is happening.
Yeah.
I'm open to it. That could be cool.
And yeah, I guess we have to trust like they want to do something with it or whatever. But we can just like tip them off and see what happens. Hopefully they don't like try and loop Fatma like into their group. Maybe that'd be a cool ripple down the line. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I'm not sure how to go about that, but I'm interested in it.
But you have a relationship with Jasmine for sure, because you did a couple things for them before, I believe, because you've got +2 status with them, which is pretty good, right? You're not like the best, but they're definitely more than like passingly happy with you. So yeah, did you want to do something with that, or you can always flash back and do it too, like, depending on like how the job shakes out. I don't know.
yeah, totes. I'm only seeing 1 status with them on our sheet.
You're what?
I'm only seeing 1 status with the split peas on our sheet.
Oh, really? Split peas. Split peas. Oh, 1. Yeah. Okay. So they just like they more than neutral with you, but nothing more, right? They wouldn't go out of their way to help you.
Yeah. Which is, I think, why I was trying to become friends with them, because I was like, they sound like people we should be friends with. We run in similar circles.
Yeah. So do you
But
want to try to engineer that, or what's the plan?
I'm good flashing back to it to see how it shakes out. It sounds
Yeah,
sensible.
if we have a positive status with them, and we're going after Nourish, and they already don't like Nourish, that's probably enough to justify bringing them in a flashback or something if we need to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because we're already doing something they would
Yeah,
be on board for.
that's what I was thinking. It's like easy friendship level status with them.
Easy friendship. They're easy friends. Yeah, cool. Okay, so does anyone have any other gathering information things for the job that they want to do? Then the next thing we should do is decide what exactly it is you're doing. What type of plan are you implementing? Assault, deception, stealth, transport, social, or act of God. It sounds kind of like you're deceiving, right? Like the point is to have Nourish like totally get rid of Fatma, basically, right? Like destroy
Well,
his
but was I wrong? I thought you actually had real dirt on Fatma.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, no, we have real stuff on him, but the idea was to make it public and just kind of disgrace him and
Like,
So I
he's
don't
gonna
know if
be
it would be
ruin his
deceiving.
life. What?
So I don't know if it would be deceiving.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
not sure.
I mean, maybe the trick is we have to deceive. We have to trick Fatma into going and indulging at the right time, so that all of this, right? Isn't that the point? That Fatma is so powerful that even all the setup we've done is going to be for nothing unless we coordinate it at the right time, right?
That is the most
Or-
variable because we have everything else set up on clockwork, but trying to make sure that he's zonked out at the right time.
Yeah, he's got to go, right? Because we can't like perfectly control the act of God to coordinate with him. It's got to be the other way around. We got to go, okay,
So
now's the time.
to make him really stressed out that day.
from memory as well, Silver has a knows Fatma's habit. Like, that was one of the pieces of information.
Yeah, we didn't get the details on it. It was kind of like basically, like we have that information, we can make this all line up.
Yeah,
kind of
so
is what it sounded like. But
so is it more like a stealth to disseminate this information without anyone knowing it's us?
That's a really good question. Because yeah, I mean, at this point, we're going after him, not necessarily Nourish as a whole, and we probably don't want them knowing that we're the ones doing this. Yeah, that's probably the biggest issue here, is that can we accomplish all this without it coming right back on us by from much more powerful factions.
You know what they say, it's like throwing pollen into the wind. I don't throw pollen into the wind. Yeah.
That's what they say.
They say that.
Let's come straight back in your face.
Yeah, especially that white fluffy shit. Cool. Okay. So it's a stealth, then, it sounds like. With the entry point is what we need, then. Score. The point of infiltration. So, let's see.
This one's hard to fit into a box, isn't it? Like on the specific types.
Yeah.
Because now that we've got, like, originally the plan had been that we were going to have to hack into some system to distribute all this information, like, but then we realized we could use this other group, and now we've got their kind of like willing cooperation. So
Yeah, well, let's see. So in the movie of this, what would we cut to would probably be you guys trying to disseminate this into the storm, right? Like I don't think we're spending time on Fatma because you like we'll presuppose that you have lined up that stuff. The actual hard part, like the part of which we are unsure in the fiction of how well you will do it, is like doing like hacking the storm with this pollen and disseminating it, I think, right?
how well we can, get it in there, how well we can like make it so that we're not being traced back to the signal, and how widely it gets disseminated so that it's not just shut down immediately by the corporations.
Exactly. So keeping that in mind, is it you guys getting to the points of the infiltrations then? Like, is there key spots maybe at the tops of each of these roofs where you need to have this information released at the same time with when the storm's going through? Baby?
I don't know, any thoughts?
Let's see. I think it has to do something with hacking the storm.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe it's just the act of God type plan, and we just need to figure out. And our specialized tech is these saffron gardens.
Yes, that sounds like why I made that.
Good thinking.
Yeah. And so we already have the method of it, which is these gardens, right? So I guess we just, see how well this shit works out for the engagement part, and then you guys will have to, modify your plan.
It's a weird kind of plan. I think we just need like a collection of clocks that we need to fill, and then we just do a bunch of like different actions to fill them, right? Like
Yeah. It does seem like that, doesn't it? It is a strange one. Let's see.
Very strange crew.
So let's say then, let's do that. Let's add some clocks here. So okay. So if we're gonna make clocks for this mission, the first thing is like, I think the first thing would be uploading the data to all of the sites, right? Uploading the data.
Computer the flowers.
Computer the flower. I'll make that. That sounds fairly easy. So we'll do 6. And then I think the next part is actually disseminating it. That'll be like, how do you spell disseminate? Data. We've got these clocks going on. Oh, I guess I double did it. Sorry. That broadcast is too much. Cool. So I think the thing that we open up on for the shot will be y'all like trying to get this data up to the flowers and stuff like that, right? And that will be the first obstacle, and then the engagement clock we can see, or the engagement roll, we can see what position everybody's in and see what the fiction looks like from there. Cool. So I am on that page. Let's get the engagement roll on, and then we will go to break real quick and then come back. So you start out with 1D for sheer luck, right? Is this operation particularly bold or daring? What do people think? I think so. You're like defying a corporation, right? And like kind of trying to get a corporation to be like, no, fuck that guy.
and just like, we need to spread information around. Like, oh, should we print up pamphlets? No, we need an act of God.
An act of God and a whole bunch of flowers.
Yeah. Okay. Is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors? What do we think?
It definitely started out simple,
yeah.
but then many ideas got added, and I'm digging it now. But yeah, I think it's complicated.
Yeah.
I mean, if this one isn't, I'm not sure which one would be.
Yeah.
Totally.
Does the plan's detail expose the vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? Yes.
Yep.
Is the target strongest against this approach? No. People are definitely not going to see this shit coming. people are like, but what if there were flowers everywhere, and then they could hack stuff, and then they could put it in there?
Activate the pollen defense grid.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they're definitely like, this is an inventive plan. Okay, so here's the question. Can any friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? What do we think?
Well, I think specifically, I mean, definitely our contacts with Shattered, what was it?
Straylight?
Straylight, no question, right? Because they're massively helping us here.
Yeah, it could be the actual Krokai stigma, that maybe this is how we roll them into the role.
Yeah, that could be very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Because I think, like, fictionally, you're probably at key sites and they're everywhere else, right? Being like, okay, we've got the secondary flowers going or whatever, right? Any friends or rivals interfering? I don't know what they would be doing. So, and any other elements? That's when we were hitting up the baking into the Act of God Straylight stuff, right? Mechanically. And then, so you get a die for that, but it gets taken away because it's a higher tier. So you got 3 dice, which is still pretty good, though. And then we'll see what position you end up in for the opening shot.
So everybody mark your load.
Yes, load it up. I don't know why you wouldn't be like normal or heavy, but it's up to you. You're already hacking a storm. I say go all the way. Dude, this is when you need a quirk. Start riding some storms and shit.
I'm not quite that guy yet, but I am good at surviving storms, so you might all die.
Woohoo! Let's see. Pray.
Oh,
there we go. So it's just risky. He almost was real bad.
yes.
But real bad has got that good XP, right? So you're in a risky situation. Well, first, let me ask if anybody has ideas of how they want to do the uploading. For me, what I'm picturing is like y'all at key points in the city uploading to specific parts where you think the storm is going to blow through, and you're like, we got to hit these ones for sure. The pollinate, or the pollen will disperse and pollinate the storm at these specific locations. The rest is like gravy from the Krokai stigma, right? Does anyone have any other ideas of what they want to see on screen other than something like that? Or
no, to me it sort of feels like the uploading part is sneaky, getting into position, avoiding entanglements like that, and the disseminating is more about technology and weird act of God shit and surviving storm winds and stuff like that.
Yeah, so this is like we need to get it uploaded
Totally.
before the storm is coming and all that shit, right? So we like
movie version of it would kind of be cutting between that and then Fatma like kind of walking into the like Vice Den and like just being getting set up and kind of being unconscious while all this crazy shit is happening out in the world, and he's like totally unaware.
Yeah, well, the Ocean's 11 music starts playing, right? And we have like we get a shot of each of you on your respective like different rooftops, probably in different districts, right? As it's like blowing through or something like that. And like, or I guess it wouldn't be in different districts because that would be a whole thing of its own. But probably just like key locations for where you know the storm is going through and where you can hit it, which is what they would have told you, Straylight, right? They wouldn't have been like, yeah, there's a storm coming, but you can't get there. You're fucked. So we just get you on like respective different rooftops and probably like the wall with the gardens and stuff like that getting set up, and then we get like the /24 shots of like each of those things like going into like the timer type thing, right, where the storm's like coming through. And so I think the risky situation is literally that like you need to do this before the storm is coming, right? And we'll go to break on that. So let's come back at 25. Sound good? Yeah. Cool. See you soon. You doing okay, Patrick?
Yeah, I managed to read through a good bit of the player section of Blades over the past couple of days and listen to a little bit of like the start of Lowell's Aruvia stuff. So between that and the last session in the book, I feel a lot more solid with what's going on. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's definitely a dense game.
Yeah.
So.
My main hangups now are just like I don't know as much about the fiction of this particular crew, so I don't know what our resources or how far we're willing to go, that sort of stuff when those questions come up.
Right. Yeah.
Starting to feel it out though.
Cool.
And this is also kind of a tricky one because this is a little bit different than our normal stuff. You know, so this is the first time Silver's actually come to the crew and been like, "Hey, can you help me with this thing?" So it's mostly been just, you know, stuff promoting crew advancement and, you know, selling more of our, you know, drugs and whatnot, and like expanding our influence up until now. So this is kind of a different thing for us too.
You know, it totally makes sense then that like a personal vendetta mission would end up being like messier, more risky than a lot of the stuff that you normally do.
Yeah, and just so that people know what's happening, I'm currently at 5 stress and I'm angling for trauma on this one.
Oh, nice.
We'll see.
I've got
Nice.
4 stress. I'm already doing great.
Nice. Yeah. Well, it's funny because like the specialized tech is the catch-all arcane power thing from Blades, right? And the more that we played, I was like, man, I don't know if I need this act of God one, and then this happened. So I was like, oh, good. Okay, I'm glad it's there it has a purpose. It's like a safety net, right? Where you're like, nothing else fits in, and we're using some crazy tech. Sounds like
An act of God is involved. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I imagined, I was like, I bet people are going to be doing some funky shit with this. So, and it turns out that I was right. Cool.
Yeah. This plan definitely ballooned from where it started, and I'm digging it. But man, it got weird, and I'm happy. I'm happy about that. That's cool. But
Yeah. Sweet. Okay, so let's see. How do people want to handle the uploading of data? Also, I want to see what that looks like because that sounds cool. But do you think? So let's see. It's only a 6 clock for uploading the data, which means that, yeah, bear in mind like the same means of how well you add to the ticks are going to be applied from downtime to this. So if you get a 6, it's going to be like 3 ticks and stuff like that, right? And 5, yes, but still risk involved. So the real question that you might want to have to deal with, though, is if you do group actions to accomplish these tasks, even though you're doing the same things, you get a better result, but it's going to take longer for you to accomplish these clocks as well, right? Whereas opposed, you could do it quite fast by everyone doing separate roles and trying to accomplish stuff, but there's more risk involved because people might be failing, etc. So that's a thing.
yeah, that's an interesting trade-off. I like that.
So
you
for
guys
the
think group slow but steady, or individual faster but riskier?
We could split it and go in pairs. I don't have a lot of experience with doing these.
Yeah, you could go in pairs. That's for sure. Or is it? I kind of even like it though that like, well, yeah, because I've already set up that each of these locations is its own separate thing, right? So maybe the acting as a team wouldn't make too much sense anyway because you're all uploading to separate locations anyway, right?
We did just
except that yeah, we're able to coordinate even if we're at separate places.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, so never mind. Yeah, I guess it's a good thing that you just got that.
Although that only counts for wait, no, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Hmm?
Yeah, that's Teamwork. You may use teamwork. Okay, never mind. I thought it was helping. I thought it was like assisting and just giving a die, but no, it's yeah, totally right. So yeah, that definitely applies.
Yeah, teamwork it up if you'd like. Cool. So, who wants to go first, and what does uploading look like? Because I want to see what this looks like. It sounds good.
Yeah, what I mean, I don't know if anyone else is any good at the actual hacking part other than quiz.
I think that's you.
So yeah, I'm trying to. What is the interface for quiz between these flowers and their rig?
Yeah, Lauren said water soluble. That's what moistware is, right? Like
Right.
data stored on a specific thing that needs to be submerged in some kind of liquid solution.
So we could water the plants, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It
Right.
could be just as simple as feeding something into the watering of the watering system, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that is it. I think. I'm using my hacking gear and the moistware, putting the data onto that, and then putting the moistware in to the water and turning on the irrigation system. Yeah.
Irrigated it. Well, upload it first.
Yes.
I also have an idea for a flashback if anyone's interested. Like, what if we add something to the data that is like some little data string that like leads anyone who's like diving deep on it to think it's some other group behind the actual release of this information, like a location tag or something like that.
Well, yeah, that's all. That's like become Quiz's like standard operating procedure is implicate some innocent third party. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You guys do like to screw other people over.
That is, yeah. So just an idea. I don't know if we want to do that or not.
Okay. Well, we can. I guess we'll see how rules go and come back to that.
It's a good
So,
flashback.
are people? Is this a group action then, or is this just you doing your thing?
I mean, this sounds like just Quiz doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Unless someone wants to assist in some way.
What specific thing are you doing here? So that
I think I've just got. I'm making the moistware to. So yeah, I've just got my hacking gear and moistware.
Is this something you're doing? Is this something you're doing back at the like at our hideout beforehand, prepping all this stuff, or on site?
I mean, I'm sure there was prep that was done in advance, but that's not risky. Yeah. That's maybe not part of the score. This is making the final adjustments, I guess, for the current conditions and whatnot.
I think I can assist, though, by doing stuff ahead of time. I have an ability called Foresight. It says 2 times per score, I can assist a teammate without paying stress. Tell us how you prepared for this. And so I'm imagining we could have like just a momentary flashback of me, like, head over your shoulder as you're working all this and being like, okay, explain it to me one more time so that I can make sure that everything goes well in the field. And then we go forward to you doing the thing.
Right. All the information that could have been gathered in advance. So we're not doing anything last second. You were on top of. That makes sense.
So go ahead and take an extra die for my special ability.
Okay.
And I don't know if it would help, but I have moistware as well. If you wanted to like pre-program it, I could go out and help spread this.
Only one person can assist, so. But yeah, I have it on my sheet, so.
I was thinking if we wanted to do group instead.
Because you can do it across distance.
Sure.
People just might get stressed out.
Yeah, I was going to say, how much stress do you feel like taking?
I think I'm the only one like with the hacking skills, though.
Yeah, I do not have any hacking skills.
Yeah.
We would all stress the hell out of you, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There'll be other stuff.
You got this. This is your time
so
to shine.
what's the position and?
It's a risky and standard effect.
Is this above my tier?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys turned into like mad botanists.
Okay, so then I also get an extra die from Rootkit. Let's just see how it goes.
Oh, that's a lot of
Yep.
numbers. 6 is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
6 is the best one. Cool. So 3 ticks.
And then I also get greater effect from Rootkit.
Ooh, so 4 ticks. Wired crew. Uploading to data. 2 ticks away. Cool. So somewhere else, we cut to the other very important area that needs to get uploaded to. Who wants to do that? Slash, on a meta level, whoever has hacking, right? Probably. Does anyone have hacking?
I think it's just.
I don't think so.
That's awesome. Okay. So who thinks they've got that covered then?
Oh, geez.
I think Silver would be willing to do it and just push herself for it.
Is it just like, is it a group action where you're all trying to be as good as Quiz?
I think that's a
Oh.
good idea, actually.
Yeah.
The secondary location.
Oh no. What happens when you trauma out again? Like, can you not do anything else on this score?
It's just
Well, only the person leading the action is going to be taking stress for it. So
Yeah.
yeah, but also you're only taken out of the current obstacle, and then you describe how you are taken out of it, and then you can continue right back. It's not like you just sit the rest of the score out or anything.
Okay, good. I just have Silver in
that's nice.
mind. I know Silver's going through some hard things right now.
Oh, this is a stressful thing for Silver. Yeah.
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 Silver's just like freaking out. She's trying to like upload the data, and she's like, "This fucking flower! These saffrons are pieces of shit." Cool. So is everybody helping, or is like everybody? Silver is leading the secondary location, uploading the stuff.
Yeah,
And,
so it's
so
all of us except Quiz.
yeah. Well, Quiz could aid across distance, and it would be easy in the fiction to see how that would happen, right? Quiz
Sure.
would just be like, "Not that one. Don't do that one." Just like walking through the steps of the action that you just did right now would be enough fictional positioning, probably.
Gotcha.
sure. So I'm going to spend his stress to assist.
Okay.
How does assisting work on a group? Because we're doing a group action, right?
Just one of you takes an extra die.
Okay, gotcha. So then, why don't one of you guys do that to minimize how much stress I take? What do you think?
I personally have
Sorry.
none dice.
Yeah, I have none as well. So are you leading it, Silver?
Yeah, I'll lead it, and
Oh,
I'm going to push
fuck.
myself. So I'm taking 2 stress already
Oh shit.
to get an actual die.
You're probably gonna try. I'm so sorry.
So does anyone have items they could use to bump up their rolls?
I have fine water. I don't know if that helps. The transmission of data become easier.
I have moistware, if that helps. It's not fine.
Yeah, it would still help, I think, though. Maybe I should make that fine moistware, actually. Man, I got something stuck in my throat. Yeah, we'll just assume that it's fine moistware. So each of you will have better effect than limited. Silver, do you have anything to bump it up from limited effect?
Fine crypto lock picks, but I don't think that applies here. My swords.
Do you want to do a
There's-
flashback to acquire a thing?
There's specialized tech. I don't know if that would help.
Yeah, specialized tech is specialized tech is like the thing that you need.
So I could just tick off specialized tech then.
Yeah, is it fine though?
No, it's not fine.
Yeah, so you need something fine.
Yeah.
Do you want to acquire an asset in the past, having already thought of maybe everyone not being as confident as Chris.
Yeah, totally. I think it actually just kind of continues. Like we get another like mini flashback to right where Silver was looking over the shoulder of Quiz, you know, as they were prepping this. Is like I'm like, explain it to me again, kind of thing. You probably explain it, and I'm like, can you like give me something so that we don't have to understand this? Like help me like, you know, give me some little gadget that'll like make this easier. 'Cause I'm not picking up what you're putting down.
Do you make Quiz write you a script?
Yes. I have an actual list of like the things I have to do, like just to make sure and go through.
Okay, so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing a downtime action. So you pay a jewel and then roll your tier to see how good it is, and you'll want it to be a 6, so it's +1, so it's fine.
Okay, so paying a jewel, rolling my personal or the crew tier.
Crew tier, yeah.
Crew tier, yeah.
All right. No bonus dice right now, but I can bump this up with jewels.
Yep.
Afterwards, right? Okay.
Yep, totally.
I got a 4.
So it's your tier right now.
Okay.
So you can bump it up to +1 with 1 jewel.
With 1 jewel? Okay,
yep.
Then I'm going to take 2 out of my personal stash for that. Like my so that
okay. And so maybe it's an actual program script though, right? Like perfect, that Quiz writes and like puts on your device or whatever, and Quiz is just like, just push this button. Okay.
Yeah, I think I
run.exe.
I push the buttons.
Yeah. I love it. Nice. And then there's obviously other things that other people need to be doing too for it, but your job is just to push the button.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so everybody roll it up. Roll hack.
So VD, if you want to take the assist, I'd be interested in a devil's bargain for a die.
Oh, a devil's bargain. So I have already thought of this. We could increase the clock for Act of God hits. 2 ticks. It's a, what did I make? 2, 4, 6, 8 clocks. I was very generous.
Oh, I got you, to see if we get the other clocks done before the Act of God actually hits.
Yes.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, good?
Yeah, I'm good with
cool.
that.
Okay. I'm adding 2 to that then, and then you can do it up.
And what are we doing?
So each of you have a die, right? So you're everyone's rolling hack, and you might cause stress to Silver because you're all trying to do the same stuff that Quiz was able to do. So we saw like a shot of Quiz like darting back and forth and doing all this stuff and this prep work in the past and stuff. And then in the future now we see you guys like all trying to do these different steps, I guess, right?
Oh, perfect. That's what I thought.
Risky and what up to standard from limited because of the fine stuff.
Yeah, so everyone has standard now, and then you can also push yourself because you have a fine moistwear stuff, right? So you can push yourself for an actual die, right?
That's what I was doing. The devil's bargain, or the ripple.
Yeah, you got the ripple, and then so there you go. That's a fail. Yep. That's a good one though. 5. Oh, and there's a 6. See, so that was good. Everyone's doing so good, except for
the button really well.
That's the important part.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's other stuff as well.
So I only took 1 stress from that group action.
Yeah, fault stressed you out a little bit.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. I've still got 1 stress box that I, to 1 tick.
Oh, please, you're fine.
Fault kept giving you updates on the status of the Act of God while you were trying to, and you're like, okay, but
shut up,
I gotta focus on this
button.
Yeah, it's getting closer. Cool.
See it. I can see it. I have an eye for that.
Yeah, I have an eye for that. I have an eye for Acts of God. Cool. So now it's disseminating the data before it, like, the storm, like, you want to like hit it while it's going. So maybe the Act of God clock, I'll abstract it to just being like gone or whatever now, right? Because it hits. because you want to, presumably you want it to bloom, pollinate the act of God, so it needs to be hitting, right? So I'll keep that same clock that has 2 ticks that we just did, but instead it will be like act of God is gone, right? Instead of hitting. It'll just be both of those clocks. So now we're working on this clock here, disseminating data through the storm. So what do people think? Who wants to action it up? Who hits the blue button?
And maybe we should brainstorm a bit about like different actions this could be, because like we don't want to just like keep doing this
hacking. Yeah,
we didn't want to just like keep hacking until the clock is full. So like I imagine the city has certain things that like get battened down and closed, and maybe we could like
Hack that.
bribe someone into keeping something open until
Yeah.
a certain point, or con someone into something. I don't know. I mean,
That's a good idea.
What are people's
what else?
What are people's XP things? Let's see if we can hit people's XPs. Patrick, what's your ones? Your which character or what playbook are you again? Your quirk. Oh, there you go. Quirk is good for this. You can do lots of stuff with Acts of God. So what moves do you have? Steeled Heart. Oh, that's good. But you're not hitting a particularly crazy one. Gather information. Cool. So you're good at studying it. Yeah, so you might consider doing a setup action.
Yeah, could I like study or survey to find like the exact time when eddies and the wind are going to come through the area that we're at, and how to time our release and stuff like that?
Totally. Yeah, that is a plausible thing you could be doing to add to this clock.
So remind me how setup works.
So you'll be doing an action just like normal, but when you succeed, you'll be granting better position or effect to anyone who wants to take the benefit of that data or that role. So you're kind of like in the fiction coordinating people and like giving them more information and stuff. And then mechanically in the game, whoever wants to grab that, what you're throwing out in the fiction basically gets a benefit from it.
Cool. And can I use my fine tier trail helmet to
Hell yeah.
like do the scanning and see the eddies in the storm and stuff like that?
Definitely. And that's
Cool.
tech that nobody else has. So that bumps up your position as well, or sorry, your effect as well, which is good.
And it's going to be survey.
Yeah, survey or study, whichever one you think.
Survey is
Well, it looks like
location or situation. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you're equally good at both.
Okay.
Hey, so
cool.
So it's gonna be.
I can push for ones. Anybody want to help?
Yeah, I can assist with another action during this if we want, like for free, basically. I've got my special ability. Like what would you have been doing preparation wise ahead of time for this? Like, would you have been doing anything specific that I could have helped with?
I guess maybe I can tick off some specialized tech as well. And so you can help me with setting up a couple of different sensors that are going to feed into the helmet that I have the sensors there.
I dig that. Yeah. Cool.
Oh, cool. So it's like in the fiction, we see like a 3D topographical map thing in your tier trail thing that's like reconstructing the storm as the sensors are doing it up and stuff. That sounds cool.
Yeah, I think they're like little cybernetic flower things that you need to take from place to place.
Cool.
They all link together in a network.
Yeah, so Silver was just kind of up there before we did this just now, was probably like deploying like a couple of sensors along the wall, kind of like running along its length to give you, a few more data points looking at everything here.
Cool.
So
I like that. So position
is risky.
Yeah, it's gonna be risky because you guys want to basically be, well, I think you're in a controlled position. Other people, when they start disseminating, is probably going to be risky because we're in a time situation
Okay.
crunch, coordinating everything. But I think you're in a controlled position.
And effect.
So you have the fine tier trail, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that bumps you up from limited to standard.
Cool.
And then, yeah, whatever else you want to do with the...
Then, I took stress and Silver is helping, so that's 2 more.
Yes. Oh, nice.
That's a 6.
Boom. You guys aren't letting me fill in my clock. My bad clock. My bad clock. No. Okay, cool. So you completely succeed, which means I'm going to add to your good clock, and somebody else can take the benefit of your action for a setup.
So yeah, I think I've got like a screen or something that I'm building up this map of the storm and the winds around us, and there's a pocket of like rain and moisture that's going to be coming through in just a minute. So we need to get this pollen out before it comes through. So yeah, it's this thing where we're like just finishing and packing up from this location as the rain starts to come down, and we can book out of this area.
Sweet. What is the next step? What is the next action? I have an idea that somebody could do something where they're like putting some sort of substance in this like howling windstorm thing that like the pollination thing would like, once it pollinates into it, it like adheres to these things and sticks with it. And maybe even makes it like float, so it's not just rain that falls, right? I don't know. Because remember, specialized tech is just whatever you want it to be.
What kind of action is that?
It's a cool one. Roll plus cool,
roll.
please. It would probably be modifying the storm, right? Something like that. Or control, I could also say. Like trying to control the storm in such a way as with that tech. Something like that. What is
I can actually do that. If it's a control action.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Let's try to hit everybody's strength.
Yeah, I was thinking me and Beatty could, I don't know, either bribe or con or something, some municipal worker who would be in charge of like, I imagine the city has like hatches to batten down that we might want to keep open.
Yeah, like basically when Acts of God hit, the shelter has like technology that starts insulating everything, right? Like the buildings start closing up, the cars that are parked in very specific places start getting lowered to the ground. All of that kind of stuff starts happening. So if you want to, that'd be
prolong that procedure just a bit.
Yeah, just
or just
delay it.
Either like I said, con someone, sneak in somewhere, bribe somebody,
Yeah, don't sell
any of those.
Yeah, maybe it only kicks in with like a certain category of storm coming through or something, and you're just like sliding some jewels over and being like, looks like a category 1. No big deal, right?
yeah, I had a similar thing in mind. Ugh, I'm not a good person.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a tier 3 thing, so it's not
that
like,
bad.
Yeah, it's literally like a district-wide thing as double that tier 6. So it's not like, it really isn't not like, it's not like people are flooding on the streets and drowning and stuff, and you're just like, it's fine.
It's
Oh,
fun.
We're not like open the windows in all the orphanages. We're just like leave the roof off the gardens. You know, just don't close off the garden.
The gardens open. Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
just the gardens. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, okay.
So when I'm swaying them.
What do you think?
Yes, it is.
It depends how you frame the scene. It's your flashback. You could totally be framing it as like, I get you. You know?
No, Vidi tries like the honey approach, and then she'll sting you if you piss her off. So
Oh,
like
okay.
she's gonna try like schmooze a bit, and what is stuff is swing? It's like flirting with people and stuff, right?
Yeah. It's being basically control is like the not nice way, and sway is the nice way.
Yeah, I'll go the nice way.
Okay.
I like making friends.
Yeah. Cool. So you're just bribing the fella?
Yeah, nicely.
Okay. So roll it up. See how well this goes.
I think quiz would go along. I'll spend a stress and assist you.
Cool.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. I just see like Quiz in the background with a gun being like, I'll fucking kill him. And Vidi's like,
No,
it's fine.
no, quiz would be all in disguise of whatever this, the target would be most attracted to.
Yeah, but in my head, that's what's happening. Cool.
Ooh, I also have a fine, I don't know if that counts. I have a fine cover identity, so I could be like, no, I totally work for this place. I have official documentation saying this is only going to be a category 1.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's much more plausible than some random old lady being like, sup.
Right, and like I'm in like the uniform of whatever that organization would be.
It would be
like
safety, probably.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you're the safety executive, and I'm the safety peon.
Yeah, toys.
Yeah, yours is not to question the whys of safety, the machinations of the corporation. Cool. Okay, so sway it up.
Cool. What's my effect?
You said you had to find one, right? And this
Yes.
is probably just some little peon guy, so probably great effect. And it's risky because they might buy it or not. And I guess consume a jewel if you're bribing the fella.
Cool. Too easy.
Yeah, I guess so. Ooh, that's a nice fail you got there. So I'll be nice and make one tick on the clock, though, as if it's a long-term project. But I think what happens is, let's see. Oh, yeah, I like that he just like acts like he will do it, right? He's just like, yes, thank you for the money. Yeah, right? I like that money. And this will be a thing that's happening. Suddenly we flash forward and like the covers are going over the curtain. Except
I'm going to use my special armor.
Okay. What's
to consequences from suspicion or persuasion.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So paranoid quiz was
Excellent.
eyeing this guy and was like, he's not gonna fucking do it.
I'm so glad I brought you along, Quiz.
He
But
just like
still doesn't get us a success though.
Yeah. Well, I made one tick on the clock as if it was like a long-term project. So there's kind of a success. We'll say that like it wasn't as big of a thing as we thought in the fiction, right? As it could have been. This could have been, much more progress on the clock than it could have been.
I feel bad.
Well, it's fine. You still made a tick.
Yeah.
And it was cool
Yeah.
fiction too, right? So that's what we're looking for. So you're halfway done. P.S. You've got 4 ticks left. That's not so bad. It's like 2 mediocre actions / spots when I fill up my bad clock. So does anyone else have any ideas how they would contribute to the dissemination? Patrick, any ideas? Anything cool?
I mean, I could totally get like bungee tethered up and go flying off into the storm and spread some stuff out in the actual middle of the winds and things.
Yo, that sounds dope. Okay. What do you?
All right. I have a fine drywear suit.
There you go. Boom. The storm
Well,
doesn't hurt you like a little.
protect me from the elements to some degree.
What does it look like? This drywear suit in the fiction?
I can't remember if it was on your Pinterest board or something somewhere else, but I saw one that was like white plains, sort of like a semi-translucent, like you're wearing the Sydney Opera House sort of thing.
Oh, okay. I hope it's on my Pinterest board. Sounds cool. Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, so
so I think it sort of like tessellates out and covers him as he gets tied up to something that's surely going to be more than secure enough for this. It'll be fine, and then y'all just reel me back in. You've done this before, right? Everyone's done this before.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, seems like it. Cool. So
I have no idea what sort of role this would be.
Yeah, interesting. I think
they're a not die roll.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, it could be like a modify, right? Like you're kind of like modifying it with your body and spraying this stuff in there. And also, or a control thing. I like both of the same things.
Ooh, I think I have control. Where's to translate between sheets?
Yeah, you do. It's commands.
Yay! I have control.
Yeah. So maybe that.
So I'm like, okay, we've got the sub vocals. So I get myself set up and started there, but I'm like calling back to y'all, organizing the team effort that it takes to like winch me out into the storm and make sure that I don't get banged into buildings and come back in. And so I'm sort of coordinating all the different steps and equipment that you have to run.
So someone has like the controls for you, and they have to like pull you in a little bit so you don't bonk against shit and stuff. That's awesome. They're like, oh no, a little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, well,
wall.
Yeah, harm's on the table, I think. Sounds good. So is anybody helping?
Sure, I can throw you an assist.
Cool. This is quite the scene. Okay, so control the storm with your substances.
What's my position here?
Oh yeah, okay. So basically, you have like the same stuff that you're supplying the flowers to pollinate with you, and you're jumping into the storm and like spraying it and shit, right?
Mm-hmm. Getting into a really strong like jet wind that's coming through, and now it'll spread it even further.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is desperate or risky. Well, here's a question: do you want it to be desperate to get the XP?
I'm gonna say if it wasn't, I was probably gonna try and trade position for effect and push it to desperate.
Sure. Well, okay, let's do desperate with great effect then.
Cool. I'm gonna die.
Get that XP. If you get a 6, you're like almost there. It's like so close to getting that clock. And if you crit, you fill it up.
And one bonus die. And I got a 6.
So there you go. There's one tiny thing left to do in this plan. And somehow careening through it was just the right thing to do, Just like,
you guys don't jump into storms around here? That's very weird. You'll have to try it sometime.
It's true, yeah. I do love that as part of like a cultural expressional thing, right? Where you're like, back at home, it's like one of the, like, back at home, we would bullseye womp rats with the T16 or whatever, right? You're like, oh, you guys don't do that? Oh, that's too bad.
I was sort of working it up. I think it might actually be my vice under weird stuff of like, sort of like you go down and swim with sharks in a shark cage. Like I'm imagining some sort of like cage that you go up and ride out part of a storm in, an act of God in.
Nice. And so Silver, do you want to bring it home then? This is your kind of baby, your plan or whatever. You just see one tick, so literally, even if you fail, you'll get it.
Any?
But I might hurt you.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out what makes sense that Silver's actually capable of doing here.
Yeah, what are you good at?
Yeah, I'm really good at killing people.
Anything else?
Maybe you like infiltrate, whatever. We've kind of failed to bribe that guy, so maybe you just have to sneak in and
like turn on all the maybe there's some kind of there must be some kind of I know. So maybe like all the information tech, right? It's all feeding into these devices, right? What if you like turn it off and turn them into like open communication devices to allow the pollen and shit to like hit it and become receivers or whatever, right? Because I bet as it is, it's probably like, the Apple control is like proprietary or not, right?
Yeah, no, I dig that. I think that's very cool. Yes.
Yeah, and at the same time, you can be like up on the garden or whatever, right? Or close the gardens. Sweet. So what do you think that role is?
All right, so I'm like, oh man. I guess that would be, I mean, if I'm doing this, crap.
Is it just like ghosting into this place to do it?
I think that's probably it. Yeah, I think that, I was trying to think if it was something else for the actual thing, but I think.
Well, it could be combat where you're just like, I kill you all.
I've got one more. I'm trying to figure out how to both succeed at this and also take one more trauma one more stress.
Well, you just push yourself.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. I think. All right, so I'm having to go into this place and what am I trying to accomplish here? I'm still unclear on the fiction on what we're.
Well, so we had established that like all of the anything that shows any kind of information is controlled by information, right? So like all the screens and all the futuristic tech that you would normally see in a cyberpunk city, it's all controlled by information at the moment, right?
Yeah.
And my idea was that you're getting in there to turn off the control from information and make them receptacles for all of the stuff that's blowing around now. And so when the pollen / technology stuff hits it, it receives that information and displays it instead of just the stuff that information is right now, right?
So are we saying that I basically left, like after pushing the button and like helping with the initial hacking, like my job was to go make sure of this, like, so I kind of.
Or it could be a flashback too, right? Could be whatever you think.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if it's a flashback, how to make the stress that I'm going to take here make sense.
Let's just have it. We'll do it now because we have to do it now because otherwise, by the time it hits, information will have caught it and
makes sense.
shut it down, right? So we have to do it right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So then I'm actually interested. I'm interested in making this. What is it called?
The group action?
No, the combat. Like you said, if I get in there, like this most of the time at this point, Silver is like very much a team player, trying to make sure to keep it. But if Silver's going on to do this alone, and there's anyone in there, they're dying.
Yeah.
She's gonna get this shit done, and I'm very interested in that.
Quiz would have offered to go with, but is this maybe why you said?
I think I turned. Yeah, I think if you offered, I think I'd say this is not safe. I have to do some things here that I don't want to expose you to right now.
Maybe
like this is on me. This is my.
For shits and giggles, why don't we say that it is in the same compound as the flashback episode? Maybe that's some of the stuff that they were developing, right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
so you already know your way around. You know how to get in.
Yep.
You know all their vulnerabilities.
Yeah. I know I think that's really good.
Cool.
Okay.
So roll to kill them all, I guess.
Let's do that and see how it goes.
Yeah, it's too bad it's not the first version of Blades where I could be like, roll murder, please.
Right. Murder was an actual action. I love that. Yeah.
Murder dice.
Position and effect.
We'll say risky, like there might be an exchange of harm here.
Yeah.
And effect. What do you have? You got some fine death gear?
I have 2 fine, yeah, so I've got fine camo wear. I've got I've got my 2 fine blades.
Oh yeah. So we'll just say great effect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. But I think this is where I'm going to push myself for like.
Well, you should use your move, right, to push yourself. Like activate your blades and push yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's So I'm gonna push, and that does both, right? It gives me both the extra die or effect, and it also gives me the effect of the actual ability, right?
Totally. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Sick. So then let's see. I'm gonna take an extra die for that stress. Oh shoot! Just clicked out of the thing. There it is. All right. So we're at great effect already. Submit that bonus die 1 for that, and yeah, submitting.
There you go. So mid result. Risky. I think you'll take 2 harm.
Cool. I dig that.
And yeah, I guess just narrate this whole scene, right?
Okay. So yeah, this is like I think it probably even opens on the same spot that the of the building that the flashback episode did, and probably a very similar like crew setup. Just Silver is the only one dropping, like getting into into that first floor that we ended up getting into, and I think it's grabs the blades from her arms. But I don't know if you guys have not seen like how I haven't told you how this works. So she's got these fine blades that are not like apparent. They're just kind of part of her like jacket. So she's got like basically black metalish plastic like hilts just basically on each arm. She just kind of pulls them off. The blades kind of like chunk unfold. And I've got actually a picture of the blades if you want to find that in my bio. They've got kind of like they're black with like blue iridescent, like a blue iridescent edge. But when I push myself here, which I just did, I can activate a special ability with them. It's called the ability is called Cutting Edge. When you push yourself, choose one of the following additional benefits when wielding your blades. I can activate their searing capabilities, giving them the potency equal to a sun jet, and that's what I'm going to do. So the blue iridescent edge of the blade starts to glow like white hot. And as I'm going through this, I think that I'm going to take harm, and you can tell me how that happens. But I imagine I'm just kind of like running through here, chopping people in half. Like, I mean, seared, like glowing orange edges to them that are like, actually burning as I'm kind of hacking through these people to get to where I need to get to make this happen.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, maybe just like, I don't know, one guy gets a shot off or something, right? It's like just like some security guy for the place that you're breaking into. I like this a lot too because I had alluded in the flashback episode that a whole bunch of other stuff was happening at this location too. Mm-hmm. So I like that this would be the hub of information disseminating like and controlling all of the technology stuff like throughout the 3 districts or whatever. That's cool. So this is
I'm
like...
going to use armor. I'm going to use armor to take... You said it was level 2 harm that I was going to take?
Yeah.
If I can drop that down to level 1, what do you think that harm... What should I call that?
Maybe just bruised from taking the hit, but your armor catching it.
Yeah. Okay, I dig that. Okay. Yeah, so then I get past the guards and I get to that little hub that I'm trying to get to make the change and just kind of make everything become receptors instead. Open everything up to the pollen that we've got out.
Yeah, and I think like the end for that scene is probably just you walking into that room, right? Which probably has like, I imagine it's kind of like that Professor X's room where he goes and puts that helmet on. Like it's like a oval shape with just screens all around it, and it's sort of like a surveillance state thing with this like whole console there. And I bet you you don't hit the switch, you just like fuck it up with your blades, right? Like everything in there is just scorched and destroyed and streaked with like this stuff, right?
Yeah, I think Silver is usually incredibly calm when she's using her blades, but I think this is almost like one of those Kylo Ren scenes where, like, lightsaber like hacking at like consoles and stuff, and I think she's like even yelling at it and screaming, and this is where she traumas out.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah,
cool. And it's the thing that accomplishes the task. You guys did it with flying colors, lots of sixes. I only got one little act of God thing, and I had to beg for it with a rebel. Sweet. Cool. And then, then we get like a shot to all these different places in the green zone over the course of like an hour where like the rainstorm has left, but for like an hour or two or whatever, right? Every time you look at a device that has been hit by some of that rainstorm and the pollen and stuff like that is showing all this information on Fatma, right? I like that. So here's the thing. I think that like no matter what, for sure this is like I wonder if I should do I'm thinking about the fortune roll to like see how effed he is, right? I don't think there's like a really the fail state is like he's still alive right now or something, I guess, right? And then the full success is like, I don't know, like did you tip off the split peas to be like there's a prime target coming up real soon?
I mean, I wanted to.
And maybe you make the roll, and if it succeeds, then mission accomplished, and if not, then maybe we have to do a flashback or do some extra thing to actually
crit. So I don't know what happened, Silver. This is another narration for you, I think.
Okay. I'm gonna say yes. We told the split peas, so maybe hopefully we get a little bit of goodwill there. But I don't think they can get to Fatma in time. I don't want Fatma killed here. I want him like basically. I don't know if is this something that once this information out, would he be taken into custody by any of the actual like powers that be in Shelter One, or is this something that they would not be interested in, but it would be more up to like mob justice kind of thing?
Whatever you think.
All right. I'm just very interested in like him waking up to realize that this is out there. I want him still alive. I want like literally every bit of his possessions reclaimed by like, he probably has something in his contract where like everything, like his home, all of his vehicles, all of his stuff is like all perks of the job, right? So like his accounts have been liquidated. His house is no longer like, the locks have already basically been like digitally changed, and he's just literally homeless and hated, and
rough day.
Everyone knows. Like I'm imagining, this is like Silver did not want to go easy on this dude. Like
So you imagine like Nourish, like just removing everything, right, and then just like leaving him and all that. So, yeah, cool. So
but I want Silver to be like kind of outside, like when he walks out of the building, and like passing him just enough to make eye contact where he kind of does a double take and looks to see if that was actually me, but I'm like not gone. I'm gone at that point. I've like disappeared off into like some shadows or something.
All right. Yeah, I think maybe the reason why and it ends up not in his favor is like we get all these different like montage shots of all these things happening, like all his possessions being removed and him checking his balances and nothing there, and like all this other kind of stuff, right? And like his funds are frozen for investigation reasons and all that. It basically is like enemy of the state, right? Everything that happens to Will Smith happens to Fatma, except he doesn't find a friend out there. But maybe the reason why he doesn't end up in safety control and living like an okay life in prison / doing hard labor the whole time or whatever is that he runs, right? And so, yeah, we just see him like constantly fleeing and being like, maybe he even leaves Shelter One or something like that, right? Like maybe he ends up having to like brave acts of God or something like that out of Shelter One with just the clothes on his back.
I'm into that. And I did take a trauma, and I think I'm gonna go with unstable. I think this thing was like finally, like you said, we saw Silver kind of lose control doing this stuff, and I think that anything having to do, like, she probably realizes that yes, this was great and it felt kind of good, but Nourish is the real enemy. So I think anything involving Nourish, she's gonna have difficulties keeping her cool on, and probably being incredibly like reckless and not thinking things through from here on out. We'll see.
Cool. Good times. Okay, let's do downtime real quick. Okay, so payoff. I think this was a pretty big one, right? Okay, so we'll rep for one. You start out with 2, higher tier. Yeah. That one was like, we'll say at least tier 3, right? So we'll give you 3 rep. Maybe even, I don't know. I kind of want to give you 4 rep because it's a big deal, right? Like it's
Okay.
in the like he's tier 3, but in the underworld they're like, oh shit, those people, they fucked up that guy real good, right?
Cool.
Coin, standard score doesn't feel standard. It feels like maybe 7 in between standard and big. Does that sound good? 7 jewels. Run the jewels.
Yeah, so then I can put 3 in our vaults, and then that's 4 to distribute among us. Unless people want to start taking some out of our vaults, do you guys want like 1 or 2 jewels or stuff for your personal? We can definitely do that.
I have no jewels, so I wouldn't say no to 2.
Yeah, we could distribute 2 around at this point, I think, pretty easily. Yeah. Okay, I'll take those off of here because I just need to. So we got 7, you say?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's 2 jewels that everybody can take. Cool. All right, that's done on the crew sheet.
Not totally clear how we earned jewels for this, but did we include an ad at the end? What's the name of our drug?
Sunshine. But doesn't it generally work like for most of these things, like that it's just an abstraction of what's happening in the background for the crew, kind of even if you're not making money on the specific job? Is that how it works?
That's part of it. Although that's
You're
kind of
muted, Fraser.
That's kind of the stash that you get when the crew advances. Is kind of represented by that.
Yeah, it could be pretty much anything as a result from that, though, right? Like it could be the fact that maybe you sell this moistwear after the job. It could be that when you're in there fucking up that stuff, you swipe some shit too, right? Like some other proprietary tech. It could, funnily, it could be like an ad thing. That would be funny if it was like that's kind of like a cyberpunk trope, is the malware bomb thing, right? Like we're at the end of the thing, people are just like bombarded with all of these viral ads. That could be a thing as well.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
Corporate corruption got you down. Sunshine.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Get some tea, get some sunshine.
So, yeah, I imagine so it doesn't come straight back on us. That like that's not like us completely taking ownership and responsibility for it. Probably put like other things in there as well, right? Like products. I
imagine so. Yeah.
Other groups. I mean, Sunshine is definitely in there.
We could have sold ad space, right?
That's a thing. Cool. And yeah, it would have been the best ad ever, right? Basically the equivalent of like the Apple that famous Apple ad at the games, right? Where it's like, take down the system. Also, buy some tea. Uh, cool. So, in terms of heat, what do we think? Standard exposure, low exposure, high exposure, devastating exposure. I think part of it was that you were being sneaky about it, right? Like you were using other people's tech that nobody knows about still,
Right.
to do this mission.
Yeah, I think relatively low, except for Silver's little bloodbath at the end.
Yeah, so we'll say 2 to start with. Was that high profile and connected target? Oh yeah, that's 3 heat. Hostile turf. I don't think so. You got permission from the Krokai Stigma to do the thing, and then the rest was just basically free balling in the city and stuff, basically, right? You're not at war, but you did kill lots of folks, right? So that's 5 heat.
Total of 5? Okay.
Yeah, and then I think Brian's about to say
-1.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so 4 heat total for that. Cool. So what does that bring you to?
That's only, we've got 4. We had none to start.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys don't even have a wanted level, right?
Nope. We've kept that under pretty tight wraps.
Mm-hmm. So let's see.
Yeah, having the Viceden kind of encourages you to clear that heat out every time.
Yeah. All right. Let me just do a roll here. Oh, wow. That's a shitty roll. Cool. Yeah, definitely. We'll go with the usual suspects for that. That makes a lot of sense, right? Where Nourish is like, especially if the viral ad thing went, they were probably like, damn, we have to at least go through the motions of finding out what the hell happened, because this is definitely like a Ocean's 11 type thing, right? Where they keep referencing all these perfect jobs that happened in the past. This would be like one of those things for sure, right? Everyone was getting 6s, everything pulled off very well, and it's very like creative, I would say, of a plan. It would be like, that heist in Venice where they remove the stilts off the building or whatever to get to it and sneak in and stuff. It's that kind of level of creativity. So Sentinels grab someone in the peripheral of the crew. One player volunteers a friend or a vice purveyor at the person most likely to be taken. Make a fortune roll to find out if they resist the questioning. So who do we think they grab?
Ooh.
Who's on the peripheral?
I got my cousin, the data tattooist that we started out getting stuff from.
Was that yeah, that would be good.
That was how we got the stuff to get the plant people on board.
And we maybe included an ad for their tattoo shop.
Rough day.
I just thought she'd like the free advertising.
Yeah. Slash get beat up. Okay, cool. So let's do another roll. 2 plus 2 heat. So they do tell something about you all. Like maybe, they probably give like a description, right? And like now the description is everywhere on all the screens that you saw all across the district that were displaying Fatma's information now display like this like loosely loose artist rendering of like some of y'all's faces or whatever, right? and it's you guys probably just like laugh about it because it's like it's probably not like that realistic. Like she was probably like taking a piss with them, right, or something too. Like it's kind of your likenesses, but not, and like just to get them off her back, right? I like that. Oh, it says actually, so take +2 heat, or you could pay them off with 1 jewel.
Pay off who?
It's actually better. Well, I guess not better. It's mediocre. The Sentinels. So like you could hear about them having picked her up, but before they get to, like beating her up and all that kind of stuff, instead you go in and like bribe them.
Yeah, I'd definitely try and get her out. I don't think her being roughed up and interrogated is going to be great for our next family reunion.
Yeah.
I'm good friends with Hane.
Oh yeah. That's true. Yeah, Vidi is one of Vidi's other clocks before was getting in good with the district commander of the district of the Sentinels in the green zone, which of course she crit at multiple times, I believe. So cool. So just remove a jewel instead, and then we'll just like instead get a shot of maybe you walking in with Vidi and being like, "This isn't the right person at all," right? Slide the money.
We can pay that out of the crew.
Yeah.
Jewels.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, don't take that off your sheet. Yeah. I'll knock it off here. Yeah, there.
Cool.
You did it.
All right, and then we're in downtime proper. So, Brian, first action for quiz.
I guess quiz will go indulge their vice, which is there is a agricultural cistern somewhere that quiz bribes someone to let them use as a swimming pool, basically.
Nice. Swimming pool it up.
Because Quiz grew up in underwater caves that were full of water, and they miss it.
Ooh. A mediocre swim.
It's okay. I only had 4 stress, so that's good.
Oh, okay. So it's a pretty good stress.
Pretty good.
For that. Swimming. Maybe the Croci Sigma let you swim in a pool of one of the rich folks for one of the buildings. We see like you swimming, and then it pans over and like one of the gardeners like replanting some of the stuff or whatever. That'd be funny. Cool. Silver.
Let's see. I think Silver's going to go reduce heat right now. I think this is, so the people that are investigating, I think, here's what I'm imagining. I think she just goes and kind of like threatens some people. So like, some of the investigators to just kind of shake them off the trail. Maybe there's
just
like,
a sec, there's someone at my door.
Okay, no worries. Take a sec.
I'm like so nervous because for the longest time in this crew, Silva was Vidi's rock.
Oh, she totally still is.
That's why I'm nervous.
Never mind, they're gone. I have like an app that shows me my friend door. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. So, sorry, what was that?
Yeah, so reducing heat, and I think it's like, if anyone is poking around trying to like, figure out who did these things, all of a sudden like a blade kind of comes out of the shadows from behind them and ends up like right, across their neck, and they just hear a voice from behind them saying, "If you value your life, you're going to look elsewhere." And just then she's gone. So I imagine this being like a ghost to like ghosting in order to reduce heat right now, just make some threats and in a very sneaky way here. Let's roll that. Oof.
One.
Yeah, so that's only one off, is it how that works?
Yeah, that's just one off, yeah.
Bummer. How does that work as far as ways I can bump that up? Is there...
You can bump it up with jewels, but it sounds like Vidi is going to do it too.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I'll just leave that then. Take one
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, so save your money.
Yeah.
Cool. Vidi.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna reduce heat as well. Whether this is just like schmoozing the sentinels again or something like that, or I don't know, the other ways I could try and reduce heat. Fictionally for people if they've got cool ideas.
Maybe part of the heat is like helping to cover up for the Croci, because this was like a big heist pulled off with their secret technology, and so maybe you're doing something to help keep their name out of it. That reciprocal help there. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like through the grapevine kind of stuff. Like, oh no, like you're mistaken. It was these other people that this is how it happened.
You guys like that? It was these people. Yeah, it could just be like trying to preserve their mysterious stuff that they want to do, right? Like they don't want to be known by anybody. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like misinformation stuff for anybody that gets too close to figuring out stuff about flowers or pollen or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totes. Awesome.
So
So it sounds like I'm networking.
Yeah. Now work it up.
Hmm. Oops. I get one plus one effect for that. Right?
Yeah, you get +1 effect when reducing heat. So you've got technically a 6, which is 3.
Awesome.
So how much is left? None?
Okay.
Yeah. You guys are like super against wanted levels.
Yes, yeah. That is none now, I think.
Oh, we should roll your vice den too, though.
Oh,
which
yeah.
would have happened before reducing heat, I think. Right? When does it happen? Does it stay in the
It
book?
says-
It's at the end of downtown, I think.
Oh, really? Then there you go.
I think so.
Gives you guys the opportunity to do it. That makes sense. Yeah, sure. Cool. Okay. Fault. Downtime.
I desperately need to indulge my vice.
Nice. And is it finding another storm or
Yeah, I think basically. I think maybe there's like a subculture of people that do this sort of thing, like riding out in storms. So since I just got her out of jail and out of a horrible interrogation, I figure I could go to my cousin and get the hookup from her of somewhere that as soon as I like hear news or see another storm coming, I can sort of book it to over there and go get shocked or frozen or whatever.
What action do you think that is?
It's vice, so isn't it
Oh, yeah,
rolling off of?
Yeah, never mind. You just indulge it. It should do it for you on the sheet.
Bonus die.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Whoa.
6. Is that too much?
1, 2, 3, 4. No, that is it exactly.
Nice. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
So it was exactly what you needed. You come back and it's like you got a massage.
Oh, it was amazing. My hair is not going to go down for a week now, but oh, that was great.
Yeah, nice. Quiz, second action.
I will train insight because that will finish that track off.
What does it look like?
Yeah, let me see which. So I'm going to take a dot and either trace or modify. I guess take a dot and modify. So yeah, so I'm what the crew has. Quiz could be messing with, practicing on. What do we have? Oh, we've got a spinner. So I guess there you go. Just working on the spinner.
Yeah, giving it a little tweak, making some nos. Sweet.
Just hammering on the hood.
That's how you fix it. It's fine. Cool. Silver, second.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to do some training, probably on the personal track, and I think it's just probably a little montage of Silver doing silver things. Probably like training with like a martial arts like dummy in the basement of our in the back of the blue Oolong, and probably out just blending into crowds and stuff like that. So just Silver doing Silver things.
Sounds good. Silvery get up. And Viddy.
I mean, I could indulge my vice. Why do that? Taking some drugs.
Oh, right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'll just roll it up, I guess.
I will. And remember, if you have a trauma, you need to indulge your vice, or you take stress equal to the trauma level that you have.
How does that work?
You just traumed out, so you don't.
Yeah, you're
I don't
fine.
do it this time. Okay.
Oh my god!
Wow, that's not the best.
This has happened like 3 times in a row. It's almost like I'm building up a tolerance for sunshine.
Yeah, it does.
Cool.
Funnily enough, I've got a clock for that already.
You'd be doing it with a friend, you get an extra die roll.
Yeah.
So want to take drugs with me?
Who are your friends? The Sentinel and a data broker? Are either of them booked?
Yeah.
You need to get one of them. You need to share.
Yeah, totally.
Probably the data broker?
Yeah, probably the data broker. I don't think Haynes seems pretty on the straight and narrow.
Yeah. So
Let's roll
far,
an extra
your
D6.
relationship with him is like, come play board games and drink tea. Not like, so that would be an escalated quickly scenario, I think.
Totally.
Cool. So roll another die. Oh, there you go. The opposite.
And I guess Salia just makes my high that much better. And now I've overindulged.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I was at 5 pips.
Oh, you're at 5. Okay, cool. So, okay, well, we'll deal. Let's see. So, you can attract trouble. Select or roll an additional entanglement. You can brag, making 2 heat. You can play a different character until this one returns from their bender, or you can be cut off by your drugs, which is yourself. So I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
tapped could be like it doesn't do it for you anymore, though, right? Like you were saying, like maybe sunshine is like something you're immune to now or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be interesting. So I'd still
Okay.
need to find a way to indulge that, right? But just with different drugs.
Yeah, you would have to go for something else.
I mean that makes sense. Like fictionally, I've been taking a lot of sunshine, and also diabetes to now branch out into different drugs with the split peas.
Yeah, like it could just be you need something stronger, better, whatever, right? Because yours is like altruistic drugs, right? Like maybe you want hard drugs now,
Yeah,
whatever that is, right?
yeah.
No more of this plant stuff that silver does, or any of this altruistic seeing sunshine hallucinogens. You need some rock, right?
Yeah, totes.
Cool. Okay, and last action for fault.
I want to train. I think we can train insight, and what it is like in the last session I had hooked up with like a meteorologist in the area, and he'd let me see some of his models and stuff. So I'm taking the sort of basic information and readings that he's got and trying to do my own sort of forecasting. And basically, I'm just constantly hitting up that contact from Straylight. I forget what her name was, but I'm constantly like messaging her and texting her and trying to predict upcoming weather events and upcoming acts of God, and just trying to like show off and brag in front of her. But it means I'm going through a lot of this data and really trying to like refine different models.
Okay, sounds good. Let me just change your status with them to -1. No, just kidding.
Minus status for blowing up her phone.
Yeah, she's just like, this guy is Despy. Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, let's do some XP then. We can squish all this in, I think. Quiz.
Wait,
XP.
I get another thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I have another action.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to try and become better friends with the split peas because I feel like they're my best opportunity for getting new drugs.
Okay.
They do hack stuff and things like that.
Sounds good.
So I feel like this is probably networking again.
Okay, so you're doing a long-term project, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I'm probably just like at this point going to the markets and like checking out the Green Mile and like seeing who's good to talk to around the split peas area, like turf kind of thing.
Okay. Sounds good. Network it up. See how many ticks you
and does gaming assistive apply to this role for like getting? I can upgrade the result of an action as though I'd spent 1 rep.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, so you took that move as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Cool.
There you go. So it's a 6, so 3 ticks.
Nice.
Sweet. Okay. So XP quiz.
Okay. You addressed a challenge with deception or influence. So.
Yep. I think this whole thing was a deception, somewhat, at least.
Express your beliefs, drives, root, or background. Not a ton, but I mean, we saw. Yeah, just in which parts of the score quiz like joined in on or didn't, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it sounded like you were willing to help Silver, but then Silver was like, I gotta kill some people, sorry.
My background is in all the sessions, because the previous crew quiz was in, they had like their different crew vice that you could have done. That's the first time quiz has ever actually indulged in that vice in a way.
Oh, nice.
Which
yeah.
is kind of crazy, but somehow that happened.
Everyone else is daredeviling it up.
Yeah, it was daredeviling, or then, we had like the flashback, and then when we came back, we said enough time had passed, so we just wiped that stress out without doing it. It's just, and then one time they quiz traumatized out, so it's just, it never actually gotten to be, come up. Struggled with issues from vice trauma. Didn't struggle with it, so no, I don't think so.
Cool. Silver?
Let's see. All right. Did not roll any desperate actions. I definitely addressed a challenge with stealth and precision, I think. So I think probably one for that. I don't think there was a lot of it, but I think it was kind of my last infiltration and kind of cutting up that group of guards or whatever, the people that were at that facility. I would say that's precision. So I'm cool taking one on that. Let's see. Express beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I think this was kind of mostly this episode. So I think that's probably 2, if that's reasonable to you guys. I think that was a big part of this. And then struggled with issues from your vice, root, or traumas during the session.
Yeah, didn't you trauma?
I did trauma, absolutely. Does that count?
Yep, that definitely counts.
Okay. Then does that count? I guess I'm not sure how that counts for one, just one, probably?
Yeah, it would be 1, probably, yeah.
Great. Okay, so then that's a total of 4 for me. Great.
Cool. Okay.
Awesome.
And Vieri?
Cool. Address a challenge, calculation, or conspiracy.
Definitely a lot of calculation stuff happening.
Yeah. Bribing the guy, doing some other stuff, making friends, talking to sentinels, talking to Glimmer.
Yeah, there's some things. Yeah.
Express beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I'm trying to weave in like all this split piece stuff. It's like diversifying business, but it's really just for my drug habit. But I still feel like it's trying to diversify business.
Yeah.
Sure.
If that counts.
Mm-hmm.
And struggle with issues from vice trauma during the session. Yes, I am now immune to sunshine.
Yes.
I'm tapped out on sunshine.
Yeah, if you get a trauma or if you overindulge, it's automatically it's a thing. It's an XP's.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is me.
Cool. And Fault.
Let's see. Address a challenge with investigation or technology. I feel like that was most of the session.
Yep.
Definitely.
I pulled out all my cool gadgets.
Yep.
Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I think so, with like figuring out what the vice was and the sort of cultural thing of riding out storms.
Totally.
And then I don't think I struggled with issues for my vice, root, or trauma.
Cool. And Jesse, you want to do the crew?
Sounds good. Let's take a look here. All right. Did we acquire product supply, execute clandestine / covert sales, or secure new territory? The only thing I could see in argument for that is the ad that we put in for our for Sunshine in that kind of data blast that we did through the pollen. Since we actually advertised for us, I think that counts, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So one for that, you think, probably? Yeah, since that was just kind of a simple little addition there, I think that's one. Let's see. Contend with challenges above your current station, definitely. Right, 1 or 2 for that. Do you think, Fraser?
2. There was the tier was 2 above you, and then you also had to deal with people above you in order to pull off the job before it was happening. And I guess in flashbacks.
Cool. And then did we bolster our crew's reputation or develop a new one? And our reputations are daring, hard, and clandestine.
If this doesn't bolster daring, I don't know what would.
Right, and clandestine, to be honest. Yeah, totally. I think we kind of reinforced both of those. So 2 for that then?
I think so.
Okay. And then last one here, did we express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew? I'm a little less sure on that one.
I sort of think so. There's this like sort of feeling of growing schism between you and VD, as VD sort of shears off into her own weird direction and you're getting bloodier.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting take on that.
You guys sort of are the crew at the moment, with us being relatively new.
So do we want to take one for that, or yeah? What do you guys think?
Sure.
Yeah, it's a very good assessment. I'm glad we've got some fresh blood in this crew to like sort of witness this schism between the two of us, because I don't think Beatty quite realizes it.
Yeah, I don't know if Silver does either. I don't think it's a conscious thing right now, other than I think Silver will be surprised if there's conflict, and like won't see that coming. I think she's so wrapped up in her own thing right now.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Beatty still wanted to make us friends again. We're going down in friend level.
So Viceden, you still have 3 heat, and I rolled 3, so you got nothing.
Okay.
Yay!
What where'd we get 3 heat? We cleared all the heat.
Oh, it says 3 on the sheet here.
Who cleared? Someone else cleared heat, and I forgot to mark it off. How many did?
3.
You cleared 3. Okay.
Oh, okay. So you get 3. So I'll just add it there. There you go. So it's in the vault.
Sorry,
We're
man.
flush again.
Yeah.
Ballers.
Yeah, our vaults are nearly full. That's awesome. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna stop.